Yeah, a little Thanksgiving recap. I have thoughts. First thing that happened, I don't know if you guys heard about this, but I was in Malibu on Wednesday night.
I saw that on TMZ.
Into Thursday and shut the power off. We shut it off, shut the power off at about 2:30 in the a.m. on Wednesday.
You say we, you mean the city of Malibu?
City of Malibu.
Okay, sorry, I thought you turn your brake on.
No,
the
sorry.
royal we decided to.
We shut the power and thus power off for 24 plus hours. So everyone who lives in Malibu who had a fridge full of fixins.
Or need to turn the oven on.
Get that crock pot, whatever's going on, it's fucked.
Yeah. Now, the thing about the oven that I learned, and I'll explain how I got to that. The oven is, they say, the real foodies out there say the electric oven is the best. Or at least that's a speech I got when I was buying ovens. Or maybe it's the only one they had.
At the electric oven store?
This floor model is the if you're really into cooking.
At the convention for the electric oven Cooks of America, they said the electric oven cooks evenly or whatever it is. I'm not that good. You know, that to me, it's like the $14,000 mountain bike is better than the $9,000 mountain bike. I'm sure it is, but I'm never going to use that.
Sure.
That $5,000 worth of mountain bike. But they say the electric is better. I have a gas. Gas seems good, but gas has an electric starter.
Yeah, I was going to say, just to get the beep, beep, beep to work, you got to have the electricity.
And not only that, but the newer, and I don't know, newer the last 10 years or whatever it is.
Technical term, beep, beep, beep.
You can't just go light it with an extendo lighter and get it fired up like you can the stovetop.
Okay.
It needs the electric part of it. So no ovens in the city of Malibu.
On Thanksgiving.
On Thanksgiving. And I've looked down PCH. I mean, there are some $57 million homes. I mean, the property fucking taxes in that stretch of Carbon Beach. Average price for a house, and I'm including up on the hill and down on PCH, $13.7 million bucks, and whatever taxes go along with that. But everything that was in everyone's fridge is null and void because it's all a bunch of turkey-related stuff, and there is no power for over. So they shut it. Now they shut it because it was very windy, super windy, and it was a preemptive strike, so the lines would not fall down and start a fire.
Right.
So it got very windy on Wednesday night, and they went, let's shut this down because every time it gets windy, one of the power lines pops off, something falls over, we get a huge forest fire. Now, a couple things I was thinking about. What year is it? And why can't we fucking bury those lines?
I was going to say, I understand in my neighborhood, it is an eyesore and we're all used to it and we all get it. But why in the rich part of town aren't those lines buried?
I was about to say it's super expensive because I know that in Balboa, they're burying them. They're charging everyone like $10,000 to do it.
Right, it was the same thing.
But in Malibu, that's exactly what you want to do.
It was the same thing in Manhattan Beach. They voted and they said no because a lot of people didn't want to pay the $10,000 to $20,000. You can't afford $10,000 to $20,000 in Malibu?
Well, let's be clear. It's not the lines that are going to fall in Malibu. It's the lines that feed the lines in Malibu that are in a forest somewhere that's going to burn like we do every year. So we have this great approach, which is all the governor talks about is getting into electric cars, except for we don't have an infrastructure to support electric cars.
Oh, were our regular cars starting fires?
And then B, the next thing we talk about is carbon and our footprint with carbon. You know how much carbon a fucking out-of-control forest fire releases into the atmosphere every single year? But it's a perfect metaphor for them because they want to talk about electric cars, and they want to talk about carbon, but they don't want to talk about the fucking forest fires that are being caused because of the antiquated system. And yeah, when you go down, I'll move it back to Malibu and PCH. You go down PCH, it's phone pole after phone pole after phone pole. It looks a lot like those sort of old Dust Bowl, Rust Belt pictures from the 30s when they just had all those fucking unsightly power poles. You take a look at PCH circa 1949, you're just going to see the same power poles going up and down the street. And then I started thinking, wait a minute, didn't we just spend $10 gazillion on our bullet train that's going from Merced to Fresno or something that's never been completed, is never going to be completed? I feel like if we took a little of the cash from the bullet train that nobody needs or wanted or was going to fly, we can fly on Southwest for $69 and cover the same distance in a tenth of the time. Maybe we should have taken some of that money and put it into burying some of these lines. Not, again, if you get to PCH, fine, but bury the lines that are starting the fires in the forest. Start with that.
Controversial.
And then I was thinking about, we just had a gubernatorial recall thing. And Larry Elder, the guy who was running against Gavin Newsom, was talking about infrastructure and electricity and antiquated systems. Newsom was talking about racism and, joining together with the LGBT community. Fine, good. But after you bury the fucking power lines. Yeah. So the fucking power lines they shut it. It's sort of worse when it's self-imposed, right?
Yeah,
and it was on Thanksgiving at 2 a.m. the night before Thanksgiving.
If a Cessna went into the lines, what are you going to do? That shit happens sometimes.
Force majeure, but they shut it. And then I thought, well, who cares? Because I'm going to my sister's house. But my sister lives in Topanga Canyon.
That's actually
and their
probably
power is shut
Yeah.
as well. So
24-piece McNugget.
There's 18 people showing up to my sister's place in Topanga, zero power.
Wow.
I mean, imagine trying to cook for 18 and your power's been shut off since the night before.
Under ideal circumstances, it's
under your best
stressful.
day.
Right.
That's impossible.
Right. So thankfully, her husband is a contractor.
Generator?
Fired up a small gas-powered generator and was able to get like 3 circuits working. So we had a light, and the stove was able
saddest Thanksgiving ever.
was able to function because he got the stove heated up. Pardon the pun. So the power was off everywhere in Malibu, Topanga Canyon, all those zip codes for the entirety of Thanksgiving, and then was turned back on after Thanksgiving at about 11 or 12 at night, depending on where you were.
Long after everyone went home.
There was that.
How did you eat? How did that work? Did
Well,
one swaying light bulb and everyone sharing a can of cranberry sauce?
it was my sister that got the stove working, that got the oven working, so we're able to sort of soldier on. Little controversy. I talked to people about protein, meat offerings on Thanksgiving. I have thoughts.
Okay.
My sister just had the turkey.
Oh.
I kind of like the turkey and the brisket
or the ham,
mixed in, or the ham.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you what I forgot about. The pork roast with, you got to do it this way, homemade applesauce.
Damn.
Oh, my.
Not the mott shit in the jar that just tastes like paste.
Mash your own apples.
Homemade applesauce. Super tangy and a lot of cinnamon in it. When you get that big slab of pork roast and you get your, not that I had any of this, and you get your homemade applesauce, unbelievable.
Pork chops and applesauce.
Pork chops and applesauce, says Peter Brady.
Peter, yeah.
So then the turkey was great. No electric knife, obviously, but to cut it with a flip-flop.
Tear it apart like a man.
All the fixings were good, although one of my favorite things about Thanksgiving is stuffing from in the bird.
That's what it's called, stuffing.
Yeah.
Gone the way of the dodo.
Yeah.
I don't know if
dressing now.
Salmonella. I don't know if there's some issue. I don't know what's going on. I want fucking stuffing you can serve with an ice cream scooper. I want super moist, sucked
Gooey.
every ounce of energy and flavor out of that bird, and it's now the sort of baked stuff that's real bready, or the stovetop stuff that just feels like a lot of carbs and not a lot of juice, spongy. No, not a fan.
That's the new order. No, I don't know anyone, and I'm sure we'll get a ton of tweets now. I don't know anyone who still stuffs in the bird. I think that's like a CDC no-no now.
Well, let's get back to the bird, people, because the baked stuffing, It's its own thing.
Yeah.
Doesn't really resemble stuffing. It's a sort of bread offering.
It's a bread casserole.
That was all good. At some point, the dessert came out, and it didn't take long because for
It was melting all day.
for 17 people, one pumpkin pie, one flattish pumpkin pie.
Jesus Christ. Not even the Costco kind that's huge?
Nope, just a one sort of 9-incher, kind of flat. And there was a smallish thing of banana pudding and a tart. And I said to my sister, what's the protocol here? Because I'm looking at about 17, 18 hungry natives, and I'm looking about 8 pieces of. And by the way, pumpkin pie, of all the pies you can have 3 slices
goes
of,
down easy.
Yeah.
that goes
It's not
down
very
easy.
sweet, yeah.
If you get the pecan, it's pretty rich, banana cream. My old thing with Thanksgiving is I want the banana cream, I want the pecan, I want that. I'm going for all.
Right.
I'm
Wheel.
going
The
for the
flight.
I'm going for the
Yeah.
wheel. I'm going for the flight. I'm going for the trifecta. But just the one. So
Did someone at least bake it with love, or this was from Ralph?
I do not know. It was perfectly good, perfectly serviceable. We just needed 2 or 3 more, but it was gone. I got to witness the crestfallen look on a couple of the fellas who were strumming the guitar and entertaining
don't
the
sleep
group.
on
And when they were done, they got up and walked over to an empty pie tin.
Yeah.
And I was like, it seemed light.
Great song.
Empty pie tin.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to blame all of your people, but that is very Goyish to only bring the one pie.
I don't,
Jews would
you know,
never.
my
Good point.
problem in life is I go, just the one pie, huh? And then the person who supplied the one pie goes, yeah. And then I go, that's right. Now I'm starting, I drift into dick. Now I'm drifting into dick territory, like international dick waters.
Yeah.
Like, well, 17 people, that's just the one, huh?
Were
Were you planning on slicing this 17 ways?
That'll be a challenge.
I do not know, but I would have happily swung by 4 and 20 and brought a few had I been made aware of this.
4 and
But
20, rest in peace.
good time, lots of libations and
Good.
food, like company, like everything was nice. Just needed more than the one pie.
And
That's
pie
all.
is one of the few Thanksgiving foods that will do well on the the counter all day
Yeah.
long.
Yes, you can.
Aside from maybe like a pudding,
You can
pie
put it in the fridge that's not operable
Right.
and use it, eat it the next day.
Absolutely.
So that's what
that's a
I
nice pick.
that's what I walked away from. I got my nephews and Sonny and Natalia, and we all had a good. I mean, considering no power the entire day, we
one light's burning
Yeah.
bright.
salvaged it from the jaws of defeat.
Wow.
All right, so you guys did what?
I was in the Bay Area. Strangely enough, not with my family. Former intern of the show, Chris, back in the radio days, Chris's brother, his wife is from Los Gatos, San Jose area. And so she was nice enough to invite us all up there to spend Thanksgiving. So we did a few days up there. It was awesome. I got a picture of the Italian stuffing. Not a great picture. I didn't know it would be. There it is
good.
with the sausage and the sourdough.
Pine nuts.
Nice.
Yeah, not inside the bird, but this is a different. We covered
As
all
long
the
as
stuffing
it's super
bases.
moist, I'll abide. But I still want to go back to the bird.
Yeah.
It's fucking awesome.
I feel like we're missing out on that.
Wine was consumed, as you can imagine. It was a lovely day up there. It was probably 70-ish. We were outside most of the time.
Yeah, it's 83 degrees outside now. So I don't know when this winter's going to kick in, but I'm waiting. And
It
Gina, you went to Arizona?
I did. Well, first we did a little Friendsgiving stopover with some of my best friends, and that was lovely. But I think this is an age thing, and you guys tell me, because I have been known to be able to put it away on Thanksgiving. I've been waiting since before Halloween thinking about this.
Keto was broke.
Holy shit. I had a plate and I didn't even make it through the plate. I was just so fucking full.
You just came off your wedding diet. Your stomach's probably shrunk.
I came off of it a couple of days prior.
Yeah.
But I couldn't get through it. So I was bummed about that. Then we played our own little version of Hot Ones. Somebody bought one of those 1 to 12 spin the wheel hot sauce kits. And that was how the night ended. It was pretty disgusting and pretty funny. A lot of fire hole I heard later in the night. And then Andy and I took off for the Fairmont Princess in Scottsdale, and that's when the weekend went from good to great.
Yes,
It
all
was
done
just-
up in Christmas lights.
Yeah, show a couple of pictures. I mean, the lobby, just when you come in the lobby, there is not just a couple of trees in the lobby. There are beautiful trees with a noble oil painting of a very stately looking Santa Claus above the
You
fireplace.
sat for an oil painting.
Enjoy it until it becomes problematic in 14 months, everybody.
It was gorgeous. And, they do it up. They had the Winterland and, the 600 million light display. And people, there's a line around the block because people buy tickets just to go for the night and see everything. So we had an amazing time. I don't know, just put up. Oh, Andy ate 3 steaks in 48 hours because we went to all the restaurants and he had to go for it. At one point, they just started bringing food. I didn't order it, but we had poached shrimp, broiled shrimp, hamachi kama, tuna tartare, and it just kept coming. And then we had to
Scottsdale.
eat. So delicious. And then we had to eat our meal. So we're laughing the whole time. But I did discover a new favorite dessert. It ain't pumpkin pie, people. It ain't even cheesecake. It is burnt cheesecake. Show this. This is a cheesecake.
Like creme brulee on the top?
It's not even like crunchy like a creme brulee, but they must have torched the top and the bottom. It is so toasty and roasty and delicious with a big giant sesame honey slab brittle on.
Just the one for the 17 of you, or did you get your own piece?
No, Andy and I split it, and it was hearty. It was amazing. Then I got something I haven't had in, I counted 4 years. I got a massage. And I thought, after the year I've had, I'm going 90 minutes.
Oh.
And I've never had a 90-minute massage because I thought I'd get bored.
They have less than 90 minutes?
Oh, how dare you.
I didn't know that existed.
Okay, so this is probably going to sound girly to you, and if it's happened to you, I'm 100% sure you won't admit it. But you know that there are places on the body that will either make you like they store certain energy and feelings and emotions inside of you. And I've had a fucking year, man. And Darcy she leaned into it with her elbow right into my back. I started bawling. And it wasn't like a hurt thing. It wasn't pain. It was like she just released all of the fucking the funeral and the wedding and the craziness with the family. And it's just I needed it so bad. It was cathartic. And then I got the greatest massage ever.
I got a massage as well.
Oh,
Did you
Jesus.
cry?
Was
there another kind of relief?
No,
did Chrissy.
I keep my feelings in that fanny pack you gave me in the garage. So I don't want any of them bitches getting their elbow into my feelings. I had this thing. I don't know where you guys come down on this etiquette, I got there early. I was going to use the steam room.
Of course.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Got to.
So I noticed in the locker room, there's this good-looking, strapping dude, 28, graphic designer. I learned that later.
Sure.
And now you guys tell me about steam room etiquette.
Okay.
Because
Dude, are you gay?
The spa is all about this, the quiet room, this
Right.
quiet place,
Yes.
no talking in the lounge.
Right.
This is the male-female waiting room. There's no more. It's all about being quiet.
Yes.
Serenity.
Right. But this guy comes in. I'm sitting alone in the steam room, and he comes in. He's like, "Oh, I'm a big fan." So I was like, "All right, let's hear it." And he's going to he's a graphic designer. He goes to the Pasadena School of Design, I think. So then I'm like, "Oh, I did a thing there with car stuff with Leno, Pete Brock, I think a famous student there. Pete Brock designed all this BRE." He's like, "Oh yeah." Start talking about it. Then I realize he's got the greatest dad in the world because we're talking about design and design center. It's all about, well, not all about, but a lot of curriculum is cars. They design a lot of cars for Detroit and Japan and blah, blah, blah. I go, "What, you're a car guy?" He's like, "Well, I'm a motorcycle guy." He goes, his dad, he's 28. His dad must be in his 60s or 50s or something. His dad just bought an Arch motorcycle. Okay. Arch Motorcycles, Keanu Reeves Motorcycle Company, $90K.
The bespoke one.
Who here?
Yeah.
Just imagine all that goes along. Forget about just the Arch. Then your dad has a $90,000 motorcycle that he bought 20 minutes ago. who is this dad? You know what I mean?
Right.
He's
Who
cool
is
dad.
this guy? He's got cat. He's
Cool
got
dad.
90 grand to throw down on a fucking motorcycle.
Yeah.
Like, I have money, but at 90 grand for a new motorcycle, you go in there, you get fitted for it. They measure you. Everything's like bespoke.
Wow.
I talk on Going Racing. I ran into Keanu Reeves in England at the Goodwood Festival and talked to him about Arch. They brought some motorcycles there and blah, blah, blah. But his dad went in and got fitted. Says his dad's got cash. Says his dad likes to live a little bit.
Yeah.
Also says his dad's like a little bit of a thrill seeker. You guys are going to go do shit that's fun.
Together.
Yes, just all I need to know about this dude's dad is he just bought a $90,000 Keanu Reeves designed or inspired motorcycle.
Pretty badass.
But we started talking. We're getting into it now. So, he listened to Loveline. He's a big Adam and Drew fan. Dad has the motorcycle. I want to know about the motorcycle. He's telling me, well, because his graphic design background, he's able to customize it, the paint on the tank. So, Dad, then a Asian dude walks in and sits down next to us. Now,
The plot thickens.
this is the quiet place, right?
Yeah, you're not supposed to be
But
rowdy.
we're knee deep and
Right.
we're finding some love here.
Right,
You know what I mean?
right.
Do we zip it for the dude who comes in alone? What does the dude think? He
interesting.
thinks we're buddies, maybe a gay couple who came in
Sure.
there to talk motorbikes.
Talk about your father-in-law?
Talk about our
Probably
father-in-law.
father-son situation.
Yeah, what? Well, the gay couple's got some
That's a
range
good
of little
point,
May,
actually,
December
yeah.
in there. I'm definitely the guy who bought the motorcycle,
Right.
but I'm putting him through design college.
Sure.
But the point is now we're still going into this conversation, but I'm acutely aware of the dude who's not saying a word, kind of hoping he's going to join in.
Keep throwing out lines of fish for you. Hey, come on
So
in,
I
buddy.
do my
Anybody else?
I do what my stereotype thing that works. Like, let's face it, when a guy gets picked up, a white guy gets picked up by like a black Uber driver, sometimes the conversation will turn toward the NBA. You know what I mean?
So we
Some
talking about
punches.
Yamahas now?
You catch LeBron,
Yeah.
you know,
common ground,
40,
yeah.
went for 40. We don't like to admit it, but it starts taking, we don't talk about classical music
Right.
as much. We
Okay.
take a turn for sports. Doesn't mean you don't like the NBA or you don't know about it, but you're looking, I think you're doing some cultural whatever.
Jalen Hurts is tearing shit up for the Eagles. Huh?
Yeah, well, I did that, but this guy was Asian.
Okay. Oh, no.
So I do what normally works to draw they're harder group to draw into a conversation. They don't take the bait, So he said, you a motorcycle guy? And I'm like, no, I have the Datsun Z cars. I'm a Z car guy. Like the
Fine
the
craftsmanship.
Datsun, chain. Well, Nissan, but now, then Datsun. But they're always Nissan.
Do you
but
lean into it a little
I
bit?
love
Like,
those Z
I do love
cars.
those Nissans.
Yeah. I was like, okay, this guy's 30-something. He's going to join in on this car talk. No, he did not. No, he did not.
Did you get any, excuse you?
No, I just, again,
He just points at the sign.
the guy came in for a little solitude and to
Yeah.
relax. We were knee deep in a joyous conversation about design and his dad, and I wasn't sure if we should reel it in or we're grandfathered in because we got there first.
I think you're grandfathered. I had a very similar experience. I walked in, and these two women, I didn't even see one of them. The fog is so thick in there. But they were hooting and hollering and screaming about how happy they were that they left their kids in the room.
That's a good point. The few, male serenity rooms or locker rooms wherever I've been in those environments, there's usually a TV playing. Like sometimes football's on. You know what I mean? Like guys chit chatting or whatever.
Sound down though a lot of the time on
True,
those.
Closed
but it's
caption.
not.
Maybe
it's not to put you to sleep. though.
Maybe we need, like they have the co-ed or the clothing optional.
Oh,
Like
sure.
they have these parts. Maybe we need I'm buzzed and I'm fucking getting my gab on
Right.
part of
Right.
the experience.
Right.
A lot of people come in there, they bring a friend, they have a couple glasses of wine while they're waiting. They want to get their gab
talk
going.
on.
Yeah. So anyway, at some point, I think the Asian guy kind of been left.
And which is his right.
It is his right. I didn't know what to do. I also experienced two dudes in the
Full stop.
in the hot tub,
Oh, now full stop.
Here we go.
both wearing swim trunks. Brought trunks. Now, I
that
didn't
weird?
know. I think it's weird. I think you go there, you get naked, you hang that bathrobe up and you get in the.
Interesting.
Seem weird bringing swim trunks
to
the Burke Williams.
Interesting, because again, I wore a swimsuit in the female spa because everyone else was.
Really?
Yeah.
Is this new? Is this? I felt like it was all nude all the time.
It isn't like the Korean or the Russian places, but at Whitey's, I feel like they're a little conservative.
I feel like I'm swimsuited in the hot tub too.
Are you?
Yeah.
So you would. All right. Now we got to get a poll here. Okay. So if you're going, let's just call it Burke Williams, big chain.
Yeah.
You're going there. You're planning on using the hot tub. You're bringing the trunks.
Yes, with the big caveat. I am a steam room and sauna guy, so I'll always choose those over it. And in that case, just drape the towel over the you know what I mean? Just drape the towel over the genital.
Or do you just do as the Romans do, and if everyone else is naked or if everyone else is not, you do whatever they're doing.
Yeah,
no, if I know I'm going to use the hot tub with the Burke Williams, I'm bringing the swim trunks.
You're bringing the trunks.
Yeah.
But again, I wouldn't think the sauna.
I always thought kind of the point of that. The massage, the whole experience was you drop the drawers, you put the bathrobe on.
Do you not have underwear on at your massage?
I don't.
Oh, Gina. This is
Look, after I almost got fucking finger blasted, I don't do that shit anymore. Remember? I had a horrible experience.
You don't wear one of those lead dentist radiation vests when you're getting like, you don't?
You don't wear chest?
Your underwear doesn't have a lock?
Spikes, yeah.
You don't bring a flak jacket in there?
I wore, if I can remember, but
you don't bring the high top moccasins?
I wore nothing but my burgundy colored Tommy John women's underwear, and they were perfect for the occasion. How far
do they go down the thigh?
They go all up and down and all around. But
for the massage.
Yeah, but but then they tuck the towel like kind of like into your underwear and like do your whole leg up
that's
to the.
Insulting.
Oh, I don't know. The instruction is
to your comfort
you
level.
go in there with your bathrobe.
Yeah.
And your slippers and possibly your towel on underneath your shit, although don't really need it.
Right.
And then at some point she leaves the room or he leaves the room and then they go hang up your bathrobe here, kick your things in and slide in underneath the sheet and the blanket.
Yeah, I get it. But you guys have never been violated during a massage. That changed things for me.
I'm thinking about
I'm still waiting to be violated.
The only time I wouldn't be naked, is in the hot tub. Because, massage, take it all off, sauna, steam room.
Wow.
Walk in the lobby.
And you realize what prude I was.
Then they don't, they're fine with it. No.
What are they going to say? She said, you're welcome to dress to your comfort level. I recommend nothing. You can do whatever you want. I already had my underwear on, so I just left it on.
And you knew you had a woman beforehand.
Yes, I chose a woman.
That'd be a weird bait and switch.
Okay. So even knowing there's a woman, still keep those
and also
Tommy
it's like,
Johns on.
I don't know. I feel like maybe I'm just more conservative as I get older, but I'm like, am I going to freak someone out if I'm naked? I used to love, my middle name was Nick. I've taken my top off at every bar in New York.
Yeah, we get it. You don't have to prove it.
Thank you.
No,
but I don't.
No, but
I'll leave this on. But I just feel like now you're not really supposed to do that.
What percentage of
and now stop speaking.
What percentage of clients do they see with the underpants on?
I don't know. I mean, it's not like I had a fucking snowsuit. Just like little like cute little underwear.
Never done it.
I gotta imagine most are naked.
I gotta imagine most.
Well,
live
hats
again.
off to you.
Come on.
Live a little.
Maybe it's time.
What was the violation situation?
When I was on, I got a Groupon for a Korean massage at the spa in Larchmont, and it was a dude, and there was no end to where he wouldn't go up my leg, and then I was like, did I just get entered?
She got fucking Siskel and Ebert.
And it really like fucked me up. And and remember, this is a different guy than the chiropractor that kept asking me over and over again, am I sure this is my last session with him? I said yes, and then he kissed my back.
Oh, yeah.
So y'all are fucking pervs, and I'm not trying to do this anymore.
All right. Well, you've loved and lost.
Thank you.
I get it. Your grandfathered into the underwear crew.
But Darcy was the best.
Wait, Chris, did we do an informal shorts in the hot tub survey here?
Yeah, well, now we're getting there's a little bit of controversy here because some people are saying I wouldn't bring trunks to Burke Williams, but other people are like, oh yeah, if I was at the spa, like if I went like to a hotel or something, or or like the spot at the hotel or something where you have trunks available, you grab them. But so we're trying to figure that out. But as far as Burke Williams go, I mean, everyone is trunks except for Kaylin.
We should call Burke Williams.
Everyone is trunks at Burke Williams.
Oh,
I don't pay you fucks enough to go to Burke Williams. What's
you
going
doing
on
at Burke
around here?
Well, you said Burke. I've never been to a Burke Williams.
Goddamn right, and you're never gonna.
Some emotional manipulation there.
Walked right into it.
All right, so most or all, I'm looking at you, Dawson. You go in to get a massage. You plan on using the hot tub. You bring trunks.
Yeah, I don't get to get massages, but when I went in the sauna on the cruise, I even wore my trunks in there.
That's acceptable.
And I guess it seems silly. I should have just brought a towel.
I guess I would make a distinction between the hotel sort of area and going to the bespoke,
actual
like sort
spa.
of Burke Williams. Look, I wasn't offended. I didn't want to see any junk. I was
started pulling
Sound
pants
like it.
down.
I was fine with it. I just thought it was not something I'd seen.
Pants and everybody.
I don't think it existed 20 years ago. It was not something I saw.
Oh.
Initially, it was sort of based on the olden, I don't know, Roman days or something. Like, I just didn't picture
That's
trunks.
not what you do there.
I always, I don't know why it always made me laugh, but when during my bachelor party, which was in Lake Tahoe, we rented a house and it had a hot tub in the back, and there was like 11 guys in it.
Boy.
And
It's mostly urine.
Jimmy's brother, Jonathan Kimmel, got in, but he was wearing trunks. And then at some point he was like, is everyone else wearing trunks? And we're like, no one's wearing trunks. And he's like, I've never felt weirder, but he got up and took his trunks off and got back in. So it's a powerful message in the group identity.
Right. Now, if I was in a hot tub with all my girlfriends, we would probably not wear anything.
Okay. So
if you want to get
trunks,
a picture of that.
Trunks in, shorts, underwear probably not on for most the rub downs.
Okay.
Something I was thinking about and hadn't talked about. I do like how we're always pushing the hydration. I was thinking about that. Like, whenever you get a massage, when you're done, they're always like, you gotta hydrate.
Yes.
You gotta hydrate.
Drink
and
lots
I'm like,
of water.
I've been laying here. I've fucking barely moved. The only calories I burnt was blinking.
Not
While
farting.
listening to Enya, not farting. That's the only thing I've done. I need nothing.
But
and
do you know why?
I know. Everything is releasing some toxins and some
Lymph
stuff.
nodes.
And, but you got to hydrate. You got to hydrate.
Move
and I
it
thought,
through.
all right, I'll fucking hydrate. But I think it's something to say. They do, gotta hydrate, gotta hydrate. By the way, you go get a stress test. They hook you up to the electrodes and you run on the treadmill at the 40-degree angle. When you're done, you don't need to hydrate. They don't say anything. You just fucking get the fuck out of the office. Just go home. But then I thought to myself, I think it really hit its level when I went to go float in the sensory deprivation tank.
Never done it.
Non-trunks, by the way.
Oh, you went naked.
Oh, yeah.
That's a choice.
No one else can enter that tank but you. But it's there, and then when you're done, they go, you want to hydrate. And it's like, I've been floating
I've been
in
hydrating.
salt water for an hour.
I've absorbed
I've been
so much water.
like a corpse that someone pulled from a river.
Bloated.
I was like literally laying and sailing for 1 hour.
Yeah.
There's no possible
You're
way
blind.
I need water
No, you're
at this
good.
point. But they're like, you gotta have some
got
water
it.
when you're done.
Oh, I made cranberry sauce for the first time, and I think I bastardized it, but I might bring some in for you guys to try. Can I tell you what I did?
No,
Yes.
let's guess.
No, I'm going to tell
Okay.
you. I did everything you're supposed to do. I did it the Adam Carolla way. I cut back on the sugar. Everybody loved it. Instead of water, I
Apple juice?
cooked it in orange juice. And I was told it was divine. Little citrusy.
All right.
Okay. If you want
I'd
some,
like
I'll
to
bring
try it.
Okay,
Bring
I'll
it
make
in.
some more tomorrow.
I got a little left from the batch that I told Olga to make.
Wait a
Tell my
second.
sister I made. Bring that. So we got that. So we'll try that tomorrow.
Before we totally change gears, can I please just show you a picture of me in blue that I found quite fetching? This is in the Winter Wonderland area of Fairmont of the Princess, and it was like the s'mores land, and it's so beautiful, and the Ferris wheels in the background. Caleb, pull up the picture of me in head to toe blue because I'm trying not to wear black all the time. How do we do? Is it too Violet Beauregard or is it pleasant?
I don't know who
Yes, you do.
Beauregard is.
She's the blue one that ends up being a big
Willy
blueberry
Wonka.
in Willy Wonka.
Oh, her name's Beauregard?
Yeah, Violet Beauregard.
I never, I don't
Turning
get many of
Violet,
the
Violet.
references
Oh.
because I
Turning
have
Violet,
not seen
Violet.
that movie. It looks beautiful.
Thank you.
You look beautiful.
Thank you.
It probably looks lighter blue because the flash.
That
but,
is true.
My guess is that's a nice
Now,
color
do
on
you,
Thank you.
when you dress to go out, do you wear 2 underpants then? I'm kind of just trying to do your undergarment
No,
math.
if I'm leaving for the public, I wear 2 pairs of underwear, 1 pair of long johns, and then just like a jaunty capri.
A Jaunty Capri. Was she in Willy Wonka?
She was
Jaunty Capri?
Yeah, she was the one that wanted the golden goose.
Or is Jaunty Capri the wideout from Fresno State?
Yeah, he's a comer, man. He's a comer.
It does returns punts as well.
Oh.
All right, let me tell you about Simply Safe. You want to feel safe at home? No better time than now. This week, our friends at Simply Safe are giving the Adam Carolla Show listeners, that's this show, access to all their holiday deals. 40% off. This stuff is sleek. It works. You don't have to drill and pull wires. You don't have some guy snooping around your house. The scariest people in the world are the guys who set up alarm systems in your house. Ironically and sadly, everything you need, indoor, outdoor cameras, comprehensive sensors, around-the-clock monitoring, trained professionals, named Best Security System of 2021 by U.S. News and World Report. Customize a system for your home online in minutes. Even get free custom recommendations. Simply Safe's biggest discount of the year. You can get a system starting at just over $100. No long-term contracts or commitments. Supplies are limited. Take 40% off simplysafe.com/Adam and do it today. All right. Comedian Ian Bagg is here. He's going to give us some true crime stories, and we'll get into that with him right after this.
It's time to check Adam's voicemail.
Hey, Ace. This is Tim from Kentucky. Hate to be the bearer of some bald Bryan level point shitting, but many a person driving a shitty citation has been issued a citation. Thanks, man. Get it on.
You can leave us a message at 888-634-1744.
That's very true.
Well done.
But there is also a private jet that's a citation, isn't there?
I didn't know that.
I think there is. Max Pat now has to look. Isn't there a private jet? I don't know who makes it, but a citation. Maybe
Is it Cessna or something?
Cessna may make one.
The
Anyway.
original point shit was that I came up with was that plenty of an escort has driven a Ford Escort.
That is
Yeah, so
dead nuts
it
on.
ends right there.
Yes, that is very true. Ian Bagg is in studio. Ian's got a bunch of live shows coming up. It's going to be in Dallas at the Comedy Club this weekend, Chicago at Zanies, and then Detroit. Mark Ridley's Comedy Castle doing his brand of mirth and also Sword and Scale Rewind, and that's when we'll talk about some of these stories. What's going on? What'd you do for Thanksgiving, Ian?
We hung out for a day, and then we went to Las Vegas for a day. Did a show at the South Point, the Dirty at 12:30, which turns out is at 12:30. I thought it was at 10, and then I had to hang out for 2.5 extra hours. And
Did you know it was called The Dirty at 12:30?
It's right
I did.
there in the name.
I did. Yeah, I didn't. I was like, I didn't realize the dirty part too. And the people there were filthy. I had no idea. I thought it was supposed to be the comedy. Turned out it was the people that were dirty. It was very interesting. A lot of Johns drive escorts too.
Oh, how about that?
Anyways,
Yeah.
Well, who gets in?
okay. And then we went to the Golden Knights game versus the Edmonton Oilers on Saturday at 4 p.m.
Oh, nice.
It was a good one. Somebody got so hammered, a lady took off her prosthetic leg and beat somebody with it.
Really?
I love hockey fans.
There's a photo of it.
That's handy
Yeah.
capable. I mean, they always tell these inspiring stories like, oh, she went tandem skydiving after she stepped on a landmine in Tikrit. It's like, that's fine. You strapped yourself
She's
to a professional.
falling.
But removing one of the parts that you need to steady yourself
Yeah, she was
to
leaning on a
beat
chair.
somebody and then beating them with it.
Yeah, she was leaning on a chair back and throwing it. So there you go.
Yeah,
There's a video
please
of it
pull
right
this
there.
up. It is readily available
And
online.
you can see her nub and everything. It's awesome.
Yeah. Well, thank God she didn't have a colostomy bag because you want to talk about weaponizing an entire row.
I'm surprised
people with those. I'm surprised people with those don't go into more fights.
Yeah.
Well, not only
the ender.
Not only do you get a lot more collateral damage with the colostomy bag, but you get a lot more range if you swing it right,
like a lasso.
Yeah, like sort of like Wonder Woman's golden truth lasso, but not golden shower or something.
Yeah.
Were you there? I mean, was it up on the jumbotron? Could you see it or hear it?
I seen it that night, but I was noticing everybody was hammered for a 4 p.m. game, and so I was just like, oh, this is definitely Vegas. Bring your kids and get drunk.
I feel like hockey. Well, first off, just Canadians in general, like to drink.
No offense.
And then the hockey crew really. That's a drinking.
Yeah, and then you bring it to Vegas.
Crew, and then you bring it to Vegas.
Well, that's true. But I find the Canadians are pretty drunk with it, but they're not. Like football's a different kind of drunk because you pregame, but there's so many games in hockey you can't pregame for every one of them. Like otherwise you'd end up in rehab,
right?
For sure. Whereas football you can do it and still pull off life. But so you don't find them as hammered at a hockey game. But this weekend everybody's just like rah, rah.
Yeah, we should talk to you about the squid or the octopi, because somebody told me there used to be 8 games.
8 teams.
8 teams?
Yeah.
Was it the legs, 8, or
that's
some version of that?
Really? I had no idea. You just told me.
It dates back to when there were 8 teams in the original NHL, right? And you had...
original 6, though, wasn't it? It wasn't.
What was it? Or was it...
I don't know. Somebody tweeted me and they said 8 games, but I don't know if that meant playoffs or something.
The number having it symbolized the number of playoff wins necessary for
That's
the Red Wings to win the Stanley Cup.
Oh, nice.
It's a Red Wings thing. Yeah.
I just thought it was filth. I thought it was what they could afford.
By the way, how does it work in this day and age? I understand in the 40s how it worked. How does it work today when you have to empty your bag? Spread the cell phone, a water bottle.
Any sharp objects?
Yeah.
There's another good video.
And your fucking octopus spills out of your bag?
There's another good video of a guy strapped like he's smuggling cocaine with an octopus around him, and he's got it into the building. He's ready to throw it out. Yeah.
Just this mollusk.
Listen, we talk about these people like they're maniacs. I'd hire both these people.
Yeah.
Like, lady, you got a little something called gumption. I like that. I don't see it. You remind me of a young me guy who wore the octopi like a money belt.
Yeah,
that guy would hire. These are go-getters.
A college buddy of mine back in the day strapped a oversized Ziploc full of booze and strapped it around his belly and brought it into I think it was the Rose Bowl, actually, whatever it was, brought it into a game. And I remember hearing them be like, that dude's going somewhere. And he's super successful now.
That's right.
He's figured out a way.
I thought you were trying to get him a job. That's what you're trying to do.
I'm going to take one for the team because everyone else is going to be like, oh, you don't know that? But I don't know that. Are we talking about
hockey?
Thank you. Are we talking about you go to FEO Schwartz and you get yourself a nice little Huggy Bookie? Or are we talking about an actual octopus and actual fish and
actual.
Yeah, they throw it out on the ice.
Mollusk.
Yeah, they have to bring out a scraper afterwards and get it off.
Are you fucking serious?
Yeah.
This is like The Watchmen.
It's also weird.
Gina, there are games where there are multiple octopi. Many.
I don't feel
Find
like
a picture.
I've never.
Oh my God.
And I also don't feel like PETA has strong enough thoughts about
this.
This
is insane.
I feel like they would have more thoughts about this.
They don't really. They don't say anything.
I hear them talking about everything, but I don't hear them talking about this.
Curiously silent on this issue.
This is not okay. Look at that.
You know, it'd be an awesome action thriller is if somebody bent down to pick it up and it just stuck to their face like an alien.
Like an alien.
And then
impregnate their heads.
they all got up and stuck on everyone's face.
Yes.
But the goalie, it hit the mask.
Yeah.
He's the hero.
Right.
Yeah.
He's the hero.
That's
of
actually
story.
a great mask, though, because they just have
that's Chris Pratt. Off comes the
That's right.
the goalie helmet.
Yeah.
I guarantee you that's a Russian player looking at it like it's food right there.
All right. Do we have the woman beating the person with their prosthetic leg?
Easily Googleable. I think we have
And you
it.
could see it from your seats?
We heard about it, and then we looked at it afterwards. And here
comes the shoe.
Here comes
Oh
off.
my God.
There's the nubbin.
She's got the nub, takes the leg off.
And upper bowl, always the upper bowl. There's no way that happens in the lower bowl.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're up against the wall.
And kind of a looker.
Yeah. Maybe it's Paul McCartney's act. Things have been rough. Couldn't get something down on the floor.
You think they get better seats?
McCartney's ex is up there beating people with her leg. I love it. Yeah, it was fun. It was a fun game. Yeah, good game.
I heard Paul McCartney's ex who was missing the leg I heard by all accounts she was a bitch.
I mean, it's possible. You can be both.
Are you allowed to be?
I think
well,
so.
on one hand, you have every excuse. You lost a leg. But on the other hand, nobody ever really thinks of those people as being bad.
Well, think about Stephen Hawking. Wasn't he basically having an affair with his nurse? And how does that happen?
He had both legs.
Sorry to bring up The Fugitive.
That's right. That was a bad dude.
That's right. That guy.
Yeah, the one-armed man.
One-armed man.
Which do you think is weirder? Do you think it was Paul looking for something he hadn't had? Like, I need a lady with one leg now. Because he's able to meet so many women.
Right.
I need something different.
Yeah, I can see that.
He was always on his bucket list. He always had reverse sort of cowgirl on his thing of things to do. Well, when he's had as many women and traveled as much, you're looking for novelty. That's why I believe the gerbil story.
Right.
At a certain point, you don't want your next 9. You want novelty in the bedroom.
You got to push it far.
You got to push it.
Does she wear the leg? If she goes to the hot tub, does she wear the leg into the hot tub?
That's a good etiquette question.
That's a good point. Yeah. Or maybe she bags it.
Yeah, you got to bag
like
it.
you do with a cast or something.
Yes, yes.
Just waiters.
You get the hefty bag and the duct tape.
Rubber band.
Do it up.
Or just leaves it up, just holds it up because she's so flexible.
All right. Do we have the intro for I'm trying to think of
Body Bagg.
The Body Bagg. That's what it was.
There has been another murder.
For Ian Baggs. Body Bagg.
Murder. Murder is so fun. I think you're going to find this one interesting. I found this one interesting. There's this guy named Edwin Laura. He's a security guard at a college. And he ends up murdering a girl that he said that he hit her with a car, and it turned out he raped her and stuff like that. But the car that he would drive as a security guard at a college had, the lock that you could lock somebody in a police car?
Sure.
He had that.
Oh my, like death proof.
Yeah. So he had that. He had the bumper, like where he was going out to Australia to knock kangaroos into the ditch.
Sure.
He had that bumper, and he wore a uniform with a bulletproof vest as a security guard. Like at some,
He's stable.
yeah, well,
He's fine.
and he's just running
And he's
around doing
sane.
this. But it drives me insane that they give this guy. Like, I remember a golf cart flashlight.
Yes.
That's what I remember.
That's right.
From your college days.
And you could outrun. She could outrun a golf cart, whereas the Ford Focus with
go
all
right.
that stuff like that. There's
go
no
up the
chance.
stairs.
It just drives me insane.
Yeah, with the advent of all these electric bikes and scooters, they got to up their golf cart game because any kid with a scooter or an electric bike's going to get you.
Absolutely.
A little more maneuverable,
Yeah.
maybe a little more top end,
Right.
Grab yourself a Segway.
But he ended up, his wife was becoming a cop, and he was a security guard, which is an odd relationship, I think. The security guard, but your wife's a cop. And,
Yeah.
just like, you're just, and he's trying to keep up with her with the fancy car. And,
Yeah.
you know.
He'll show her.
You don't want one of those jobs where everyone assumes you want the other job, which is cop,
Right.
but there's something wrong with you.
Right.
Which,
everyone just assumes.
absolutely.
We just immediately go, oh God, what was his name from the
Jewell.
Olympic bombing?
Yeah.
Yeah, Richard Jewell. We go,
Right.
I bet that guy wishes, but he's 80 pounds too.
Right.
Hey, he wouldn't
Right.
pass the obstacle course. Like,
Right.
you don't want to.
But then you see cops in Georgia, and you're like, they all look like him, so you're confused.
But maybe some people want to be security
Yeah,
guards.
resource officers at the school.
Right. I don't.
Well, there is a comedy version of that. Like Ian would like to host
boy.
a late night show, but obviously you got to be funny, so that's off the table.
Now he's just Paul Blart.
So he's traveling the
I
country.
understand. Now I'm just doing this, coming in, reading about murder. That's all I'm doing.
But you just
I'm the
don't want
Richard Jewell of comedy.
You don't want the job.
It's been said many times.
Thanks for letting me on the show.
You don't want the job where
Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together. For Richard Jewell.
you work at hot dog on a stick. You just work at hot dog on a
Right.
stick. You don't go, I wish
he
he
worked at Cornell.
worked at Denny's.
Right.
No.
There's the ladies on the street with just a candle and the cookie pan. They wish they could be at hot dog on the stick. They're like
Right.
they're
Yeah.
the security guards.
Down in front of the Staples after the
That's right.
Lakers
Street
game.
dog.
Yeah, just- you
or
can
the Bitcoin Center,
Right.
whatever.
Crypto.com.
Whatever it is. No.
Should be harder to find.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So he gets the cop car.
and he kills this girl, but then he goes on. He just takes off, and then he kidnaps a girl that he's just walking through, and this freaks me out. and you should freak you on your lady. So she gets off shift from Marshall's, just the worst job ever. And she's sitting in her car checking her text messages after work, and he carjacks her.
Oh, yeah. They say women do spend too much time once they get in their car just hanging out.
Right.
Go.
That's true.
Get to
That's
getting.
1,000% true.
And lock your door at least.
Yep.
And lock your door. Okay. So,
well, the happy byproduct of this may be when you try to park at the Costco and the fucking bitch gets in her car and it's like, who are you texting?
Yeah, now
Like,
you're
what
setting
are
up a satellite office.
You're putting your makeup. You're
Yes.
doing a hit on Fox
Yes.
later on. Like, what are you doing with your face? Like,
Yes.
you fucking pull out. Everyone's
Yes.
circling around the airport trying to find a
Right.
slot. You've been in
1,000%.
your car. We're on minute 11 now.
Yes.
Where are you going?
I honk the shit out of them.
But if we can work this abduction angle,
Now we're getting
we get
somewhere.
moving.
do you ever do that thing where you notice somebody waiting and you're annoyed by them, so you get back out of the car?
I would never.
You've done that, haven't you?
Of course I have.
Yeah, it's so good. Get back out and I forgot
Because
something.
So he's on the lam, but he abducts someone else while he's fleeing.
Yeah, well, so he gets this girl and
In for a penny, in for a pound.
well, he's in. He's all in, and he's driving from Oregon, and he's driving south. So he comes into California. He's got her, and they get a hotel room, and he decides he wants to pretend he's a masseuse, and she's brilliant. She's brilliant. She goes, I have to take my medication for my herpes.
Good for her.
How brilliant is
That's
that?
good.
That's the smartest thing. Yeah,
Get that drop, please.
Yeah. So she gets away with not being molested by this guy because he's obviously a rapist, and he's very hey, I murdered somebody, but I'm not a rapist. He's that kind of guy. He's
Grab that.
Drop too.
Yeah. So he gets her, and in the morning, he needs a new car because you love this. Her oil's low, and there's a big.
You know those bitches always forget to do their checkups.
Especially the ones with herpes.
That's right.
So he has to get another car. So he tries to steal this old man's car, and he starts yelling. So he shoots the old man in the gut.
Sure.
And
Wow.
yeah. So now they're running, and they find a family at the gas station, and the two dads go inside because there's a dad and a grandpa. They go inside to pay for the gas. Grandma and the two grandkids are in the back. He steals that car, takes off with that car, and then
Is Grandma still in it?
Grandma, and the grandkids are still in it, and for some unknown reason, he just lets them out in the middle of it, but keeps Herpes Girl, right?
Yeah.
So he's still got Herpes Girl, and they're driving, but now he's asked her to make a Facebook, like, I want to make a post to everybody. For a Facebook.
Guy sounds like a wackadoodle.
Well,
What's so wrong with this guy?
thank God.
He needs
Something's not adding
professional
up.
help.
Well, and he's a security guard. So there's got to be some sort of thing where they haven't tested this guy if he's able to do all this, right? So now he's on the run, and he's going to give himself up, and he's called 911, and he's trying to tell them how nice he is, and
Sure.
he wants to talk to her grandma. He's a big thing. He's like, I got to talk to this girl's grandma.
Val, short for Valtrex.
Val, because I want to apologize for kidnapping her. Meanwhile, he's forgotten about the other girl that
Right,
he's murdered. And
right.
she's just like, and they finally, he goes, hey, I need to ask you a favor. The cops, I have asthma. So I need the cops to not be rough with me when they take me down. And she's like, well, do you need an ambulance there? Like, are you having? No, I just have it. I've been looking. The reason we've been driving so much is I'm trying to get an inhaler, but you can't get it over the counter. So this is why we've been driving from Oregon all the way
That's
down.
why I violated the Mann Act.
So, and it's just, and again, he drives, and he goes, if the cops drive by me, I'll pull over. That's because the cops are now behind him. And it's the best 911. And I don't know.
What year is this?
This is, I want to say it's not too long ago, like 2016, around there. And the great part is, it's all on tape. So you get to listen to these 911 calls. And I don't know if you listen to 911 calls, but there's two types of 911 operators.
Yeah.
There's the, I can't help you. I'm
Yeah.
busy. I'm about to get off in 5 minutes. And then there's the, oh, this is going to get me on the news. And it's extra helpful. Oh, well, what else do you need? You probably felt bad. Have you got a water in there with you? Are you going to be okay? And she's that one. And it is grand to listen to this 911 call.
And we can hear that on the
Yes,
show.
on the show. We play.
great.
We don't not play that. We play it.
I was thinking about herpes and Valtrex, and I always say the saddest position in the herpes commercials, not the woman who's talking to the camera as she gets off the mountain bike and is just sort of talking to the camera.
She can do anything.
It's the boyfriend that's 3 steps behind, standing next to his mountain bike, like looking concerned but not judgmental in any way. That's the worst gig in Hollywood, right?
It's a
the
little
boyfriend
cuckoldy.
Yeah, because she didn't get it from you, dude.
And she's more
This
than
is
happy
her
to talk
last
about
dude
it.
who she got it from. It's now she has to share this news.
Any assortment of dudes.
And we need a posture from you that you got to really thread the needle here.
Yeah.
We can't have you tapping your foot with your arms folded or lighting a cigarette and shaking your head.
Understanding.
But you can't be jovial.
No.
Right? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just strike that neutral position as the good new man who
He should
understands.
have the look like, who are you talking to? And what are you talking about?
Right.
What exactly? What?
Or like again, like we pedal for 80 feet, and then you get off the mountain bike, and then you talk about your herpes, and then we get back on the bike. Like lunch was 40 minutes ago, sweetie.
You take a picture for 2 strangers, and now what are you talking about?
God. Do you need to tell everybody about your medication that you like so much?
And is it just me, or did we used to see a lot more of those, and now they've given away to bizarre medications involving constipation from being on opioids and way too many like pharmacological, like weird stuff now, like herpes. Commercials were almost quaint, like a pickpocket or a thing of the past.
I think it's everybody knows. They don't.
Everybody
knows. It's kind of like
We've all been sufficiently coached up.
We get it. McDonald's have hamburgers.
So yeah, I get it. Yeah, we don't need to see it. Do we? You have another story?
I do have another story.
But sorry, before you do that, did you catch? Because I feel like you and Matt would be particularly interested in it. The Nightline Diane Sawyer interview with 2 of the Turpin children. Okay.
Explain who I remember.
The 23? What? I don't know what you're doing. Okay. 2020. Thank you. It was so it was like 15. No, like 15 kids because they all wore like the thing 1, thing 2 thing from Dr. Seuss, and the parents with the dad with the crazy like gray bowl cut chained their kids up for 30 years. When the oldest one was like 29 and a half, they had no sense of like socialization. Like some of them couldn't walk. One of them was a teenager, had the arm of a 4.5-month-old baby. It was crazy. So one of the girls escaped and she found a cop, and she sounded nuts because she'd never spoken to someone before. She didn't even know the word for bruise. She showed a picture and it was like their arm was clearly all fucked up and bruised. And she goes, see how they're making in on them? Like she didn't even she doesn't even know words.
Weren't they around here too? Weren't like
They're
in a
Paris,
909?
California.
Well, Gina, I don't want to scare you, but we keep up with this social distancing and these fucking mask mandates. These fucking kids look forward to a whole new generation of these Turpin kids who don't know the word for their nose or the sky and their little arms. You start talking to them, they'll start crying.
I don't disagree with you.
It's coming, baby.
Anyway.
Look at them as a novelty now.
That's right.
Check that interview out because it is haunting. You were saying.
Well, this kind of reminds me of the one that we're talking about today is a guy that he's 22 years old, and he decides he's going to buy a farm and sell vegetables and fruit, fresh vegetables and fruit. Yeah. And him and his wife, and they start having kids. And the first summer they make about $900 a week, and the second summer they're making $50 a week, which says to you probably have shitty fruit.
True.
Right? Yeah, that's what it says.
Soil issue.
So now he becomes born again Christian.
Sure.
And he does his own medical. He's not taking the kids to the doctor. They have 4 kids. Mom's working at McDonald's while he's trying to keep the farm going. And now he's decided that he's going to turn the farm into you come there and he'll talk to you about Christ, and we'll figure out how Christ would run that farm. And that's going to be one of those things. And now he starts ignoring the kids, and he wakes up one morning after putting the youngest baby to bed for 20 hours.
No, that's a long time.
And the baby's dead.
Sure.
Right? And what does he do? He calls 911 and he says, about an hour ago, I found my baby, but I contacted my lawyer first, which drives me insane because these people always have a lawyer. Like I don't have a
speed
lawyer.
dial.
$50 a week. Yeah. He's got a retainer.
Yeah, like it doesn't make sense at all. So he's like, and my lawyer's trying to figure things out, but I just couldn't wait any longer. So we called you. And then they're like, well, how do you know the baby's dead? And he's like, well, it's not dead. It's dead. It's it's cold. And they go, well, did you do anything? No, I called my lawyer.
Oh.
So I'm like, well, very Christian of you. First of all, the first thing Jesus said, call your lawyer first. That's what he says always. And then they hadn't been feeding it, so this baby died over a period of 4 weeks.
Oh my
of
God!
Not being fed.
Guy runs a farm.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, but he's too busy making his YouTube videos about how he's going to teach you how to become a
shitty farmer.
Yeah, basically.
Would you guys say that you could take parents of families with more than 6.5 kids and separate them into 1 or 2 categories? Just fucking salt of the earth. 3 of them are adopted with disabilities. When we go shopping, we don't have much, but we spend it all on groceries. And then there's just the insane lunatic, religious, cult-leading nut jobs, right?
I think
it's never right down the middle.
Yes.
I don't think it's down the middle. I think it's very few of those 6 are normal, and everybody else is lunatic. Like 3/4 of them are insane.
But they get all the headlines. There's a lot of quiet parents that have a big family that you don't hear as much about. I think it's like child stars, like we know the ones that OD and rob liquor stores, but we never really keep track. Like, I was watching Facts of Life the other day.
Of course.
Season 1, they had like 9 girls.
They had a lot of them.
You don't hear about them cooking up meth in a tub and getting in all kinds of shit shows with whatever. They went somewhere and became a housewife at some point.
Ask me what happened to Jonathan Taylor Thomas.
What happened to Jonathan Taylor Thomas?
Exactly.
That's right. Oh no.
Which one was? Which one was he?
He's the cute one from Home Improvement.
He's the one that made $10 million off Home Improvement.
He looks like a Hanson.
Voiced Simba. And
I think the brother. I think the brother ended up beating his wife.
So this takes all kinds. My point is,
even Steven.
I'm just saying.
So you're saying 50-50 is what you're saying.
I think it's the big families who grab the headlines, who give all the other families who have big families a kind of a black eye. I know, especially if you go back, like you talk to some Irish guys in his 60s, and he'll go, I had 8 brothers and sisters. Like, they did fine.
Yeah, but that was because of the work that had to be done back then, and they'd lose a couple kids to sickness and to incidents.
Yeah, Andy's mother has like 9 siblings, and his father has 12 siblings.
We did go from slavery to crapping out a whole bunch of kids who could work on the farm. Like somebody went
it's a seamless transition.
Quite an A to B. It
technically own people anymore, but
you also
we can slide under the radar if we shit out a bunch of kids who can work a plow.
It's why Johnny Cash's dad was so bad in the movie when he lost his brother. Like, one of my workers, that was my best worker.
That's right.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't trust anybody with a lot of big family. I don't. Big family, not many rooms. That's what I always find comes together. Like, we got 8 kids, live in a 2-bedroom.
Yeah. And they do things like that sound really fucked up. Like, we have to put a lock on the refrigerator. Otherwise, they're eating around the clock. I'm like,
you're right. Fuck big families. Yeah. This country wasn't built on the back of big families.
Yeah.
They were built on the back of gay couples who adopted one Laotian kid. I agree with Ian Bagg.
I like it. Yeah. Come on.
All right. Let's bring it home.
Big families don't sit in hot tubs and talk about motorbikes.
That's right.
That was Ian Bagg's Body Bagg.
We call them motorcycles in this country. It's
okay. You do what you gotta
more
do.
Masculine.
Well, we deliver mail on them in Canada.
All right. You can check out all that and more at the Sword and Scale Rewind that Ian and our own Matt, the Porcelain Punisher Fondelier, is doing as well. First, I'll tell you about X Chair. We're sitting on them right now. It's the holidays. You deserve a gift. How about the one that keeps giving comfort and joy every day? Looks as good as it feels, and it'll pay for itself, and just how much more productive you'll be at work. X Chair. I absolutely love mine. I'm sitting on it right now. I got an X Chair long before they became sponsors on this show because I wanted a great desk chair. And I'll tell you this, I always say, get a good bed, get a good car, get a good TV set, and get a good chair, because you're going to spend the lion's share of your life in one of those 4 places. Not only is X Chair the world's greatest office chair, but with its patented LMX technology, it's also a massage chair. Keep your underpants on, Gina. And cools and warms your back. And Can your office chair do that? I don't think so. Now's the perfect time to get your X chair. Buy early and buy now. Right, Dawson?
Here's X Chair's holiday gift to you. Save $100 on your X Chair just by purchasing it at xchairadam.com. That's the letter X, chair, ADAM.com. X Chair has a 30-day guarantee of complete comfort, and you can finance your purchase for as little as $30 a month. Go to xchairadam.com and save xchairadam.com.
All right, you can check out Ian Bagg doing shows in Dallas this weekend and Chicago and Detroit, and you go to his website, ianbagg.com. Ethan Nicole, who's creative director at Babylon Bee, is going to come in, and we'll talk to him right after this.
It's time for Nicaraguan Name That Movie with Adam's buddy Oswaldo. See if you can guess which movie this famous line is from.
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.
If you said Die Hard,
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.
you're correct. Now, back to the show.
Ethan Nicole is here, creative director from the Babylon Bee. Good to meet you.
You too. Thanks for having me.
It's funny, in the book, The Babylon Bee Guide to Wokeness is available as we speak. You can get it on Amazon, wherever you find finer books. I'm now bringing that back.
Good.
That's part of my childhood.
Nice.
Wherever fine books are sold.
Or fine furniture,
Yes.
or fine clothing,
Yes.
wherever
Fine
you find
jewelry.
finer jewelry.
Yes.
That's
Or
where
books
you
that
can
haven't been forbidden yet.
Yes,
Right.
You can find the Babylon Bee Guide to Wokeness. So I've been we've been talking about this, which is Babylon Bee, the website, or Babylon Bee, the tweets you would send out and all that. It's getting harder to write because we're getting crazier, right? And it was pretty easy to make a distinction between truth and fiction or satire a few years ago, but now we're removing boulders from campuses because the boulder's racist and things of that nature. And it's kind of hard to tell.
Yeah.
Like an example I always use, if it's been a while, but Dennis Prager always used to joke that the ACLU didn't like the lowercase t because it resembled a cross, or some organization was against a lowercase t. Now, he'd say that 5 years ago. It sounded insane. You'd kind of buy it.
Yeah.
Now, is it make it more of a challenge for you guys?
Yeah, I mean, that's the constant thing is it feels like we're more prophets than comedy. We try to think of the most ridiculous thing that what people are doing right now could lead to, make that a headline, and then like within a week or two, it becomes real news, and then you can't tell that we're just joking.
You're only a couple steps ahead.
How long has
just
the
a few steps
Babylon
ahead.
Bee been in existence?
I think we started in 2016, so not super long. Yes, pretty much around during the campaign. Trump's campaign is that when it kind of popped up.
And how did it start?
There's a webcomic guy named Adam Ford who created the site, kind of jealous of the kind of humorous points that The Onion was able to make. And it started off, we always had political humor, but it was a bunch of Christian guys making jokes mostly about church culture. And but we'd also make jokes about things in the news that no one else is joking about. So,
so you and Tyler Perry came from the same
exactly.
place. See, we're closer than
Bridging the
people
gap.
think. Yeah, I think The Onion. I don't know, Chris. You can look it up, but I think there was. I think it was The Onion that said that there was a parasite that was in Adam Carolla, but he left because he was disgusted.
Yeah, rejects you as host.
Rejected me as host. So, I don't even know what it was. I don't know what it was regarding, but I liked it.
That's fun.
Parasite regrets choosing Adam Carolla as host.
What year was that from?
2006.
And what was I even doing back
You
then?
talking about for Stern.
Yeah.
Come on, man. You're top of the world, Ma.
Yeah. Well, anyway, that was the so it was like, oh, they're having the fun over there. We'll do our own version of that.
Yeah, you just get to make a quick. It's I think one of our favorite quotes from G.K. Chesterton is that while an argument is trying to fumble at the handle, humor can slip right under the door to make a point. I totally butchered that, but I think it's that, and just it's more and more become the joke someone else will tell. We'll tell them, I guess.
And how's the process? And then is there a vetting? like, I don't get it, or let's try it. Like when I used to write a lot of jokes, there'd always be somebody saying, nobody's heard of a something.
Right.
You know, we'd always say, I'd get in these arguments all the time, like, no one's heard of a gimp ball. Right. And I'd go, what do you mean everyone knows what a gimp ball is? So let me go to my car.
Sure. Just because you're square.
And they'd go, back in the day, I'd go, but they're publicists. And they'd go, no one knows what a publicist is. And then at some point, you'd find somebody who had no sense of humor and no education, no anything, and you'd call them into the office. Come here. Shanda,
Ron's a dullard.
Come in here. Have you heard? And then the other person would screw it up. They go, "You've heard of a publicist, right?
No,
You're not stupid."
No.
They go, "No." No. Do you guys have to go through that process?
I think because we're joking about the news as it happens, so it is always like, do you think people know this? Are we in this bubble that only we know about this? And so we kind of have to try to figure that out, and then it's often shocking what people are aware of and what they're not aware of. So that's a constant game.
Is it? And what is the business model?
The business model, subscriber driven quite a bit now, and ad driven.
What do subscribers get?
Subscribers get. We have a.
They get a
so
toad.
One of the things tons of people want to submit headlines to us. We get tons of people like just all day long. That's one of the first things that happened when I got the job at the Babylon Bee is I just get emails and emails and emails. Even from old friends.
You can use this.
So you can join a forum if you're a subscriber, and you can get in there and you can submit headlines. And if you make it to the top, whatever amount, they'll actually get read. So we have had I think our managing editor, Joel Berry, made it through that way, got the job.
Huh?
So it can happen. Dreams can come true.
It's like how they found the lead singer for Journey.
That's right. For a tribute band. In Thailand.
We have a few. I told Chris to grab a few Babylon Bee headlines that in no particular order, but just so everyone listening knows what we're talking about here.
All right. Cracker Jack changes name to more politically correct Caucasian Jack.
Nah.
This is one of those stories that we'd made the same joke probably 30 times, but this one, for some reason, that thing went crazy.
How many? And then you figure out how many shares, how many downloads.
The numbers
or
were insane. And this is back before when Facebook actually let our stories go. Facebook has suppressed our content to the point that we almost get nothing on there now.
How do you suppress satire? It's not like misinformation, it's satire.
Well, they released new guidelines recently that and I don't know how it all fits in. They're very secretive, but I know that they have made this guideline that humor that punches down will be suppressed. Satire that punches down, yes, very subjective.
If you're lampooning the current administration,
exactly.
You can't really punch down to the leader of the free world.
Right.
But I don't know.
Yeah,
big tech.
Right.
I'm not sure why they don't just step back. I think they're going to screw up their own model. I know Jack Dorsey just moved on from Twitter.
Yeah,
I don't know why. I
we'll
wish he'd do
talk about
something with that nose hoop. Bugs. It's literally the nose jewelry.
Yeah.
Zeke Elliott has the same thing. You know when you go out to dinner with someone and there's a piece of broccoli on their lip?
Yeah.
I'm that way with the hoop and the stud.
Got a little something right there.
I keep wanting to flick it.
Brush it off.
The little thing sticking out right here. See those ones?
Yeah, the weird
The derma,
the weird ball.
Yeah, what do I call that? A ball on your lip? I don't know. It's not even your lip.
I don't know. I barely signed off on the beauty mark. I'm not sure why that adds something. But right, as a society. But then when it became a stud, and it's not in your cheek, and it's not really in your lip. It's just kind of here.
Yeah.
Am I naive? Is that a lesbian thing?
What?
Is it lesbian?
Okay, I'm obviously.
What does that mean?
I thought that was like.
What does that
sort of
mean? It's like
who's your
a
lesbian
tell.
like
authority
a silent
here?
signal.
Oh, I thought you meant is like a tongue ring, good for something. I don't know that would
I
help you for
I
anything.
thought
Get
the
out
upper
of
lip stud was
Get your brain out of the gutter, girl.
Am I having an off show?
I'm saying
No, it's typical.
if you want to.
You
It's a Monday.
motherfucker.
No, I what Brian is saying, I think, is
Please.
it's hard to spot. I mean, they all drive the Subaru that you pulled up in. But if you can't go to the parking lot with them, like you're in the club, how do you spot the lesbian if you're not in a lesbian
that's
club
I thought it was
over
a little bit of
there?
a signal.
But maybe this would be a mark.
Little mark thing.
You know what I mean? Like
I guess.
the gays done it with the bandanas for time
It's a little more
immemorial.
permanent, but yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I have no idea.
All right, moving on.
What is that stud called?
Yeah, what's that thing?
Lesbian teller?
I did. God, remember
Because anyway, you call this part of your face. It's not the lips. It's not the nose. It's like this area.
It's some sort of
it's the
checkpoint
taint of the
Charlie
face.
where your cheek meets your lip. Yeah, I saw. Remember when guys were getting a lot of penis piercings?
Boy, do I.
Good old days.
Back in the day, I saw it done.
Oh,
we
walked
had
in
when I was doing Loveline.
on purpose?
No, I mean, I guess
Yes.
we were
For work?
We thought it'd be good radio to have a guy who wanted to get his dork destroyed come in and have a guy have someone do it. And by the way, the people that are handling your junk are not physicians. Oh, far from it. They are sleeved and tatted, and they got their own. Seems like a weird guy to be poking around down there. You know what I mean?
Permanent incisions.
Well, I just mean I'm going to take a needle and get it into your dork, and
Buddy, I know what you mean.
I have no formal training other than in this procedure. I don't like it, but the point is I saw it done, and I can't unsee it.
All right, I got a little news for you.
Mm-hmm.
So the area between your nose and your lip is called the philtrum.
Philtrum.
And so I looked up a side philtrum, and it's basically a side philtrum dermal piercing. If you do it on one side, it's called the Madonna. On the other side, it's called the Monroe. And in the middle, it's called the Medusa.
The middle, I don't like the middle one, really. I don't like any of them, but...
Yeah, the middle one, I don't know why, because I'm normally into symmetry.
Yeah.
But not in this case.
No, anything about it being the choice of lesbians.
All right. Well, maybe from, Brian's mouth the devil's ears.
That's right.
I mean, maybe this is a good tell, because I don't know if I can spot a lesbian as easily as I could spot a gay man.
Is it?
I
Did
think
you
gays
find out?
are easier to spot.
Is it linked to lesbians?
No.
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 Not that we can see.
But something, Brian, you should definitely champion.
He doesn't give me my cause celeb.
You know what? The one that gives me like
The
it actually
Madonna or the
it makes me
Monroe?
like queasy to look at it because it just came up on my screen. The dermal piercing in the back of the neck. That kind of makes me feel like a little like I'm going to pass out.
Yeah, anytime you can see stuff poking up in the skin like Bugs Bunny under there.
Yeah. And who knew? By the way, when you have things protruding from your skin or making lumps, you go pay someone to remove them.
Yes.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to
That's
pay someone to add
Right.
them
You end up on botched.
on.
Right.
And then also, did whoever thought, like Tyson got his face tattoo 21 years ago or 24 years ago. And then we had a dormant period for facial tattoos.
It was the salad days.
It lasted 20 years.
Yeah.
And then every
All of a sudden.
fucker on the planet got a face tattoo.
Yeah.
Why didn't... Tyson kicked the door open and no one came into the tattoo parlor. And then it sat for 22 years.
Post
and
Malone
now,
was like, anybody in here?
right. This is weird, right?
It is very weird.
Weird life
Tyson
choice.
was lonely in the face tattoo club for a while.
I think the scariest tattoo person is the scalp tattoo person.
How dare you?
Scalp
Bam Bam
tattoo.
Bigelow.
You see the
neck.
Travis Barker may have that.
Yeah,
Like
a lot. And some chicks too. On the
Why is that
side.
scary though? Because at least the hair can grow out ostensibly and cover it up, for occasions, for formal events.
I don't know. I find it off-putting. I cannot. Like the way some people freak out if you play around with styrofoam.
Okay, yeah.
And they go like, oh!
Does it hurt your teeth to see a scalp tattoo?
It just hits me in some visceral way.
I am so sorry to change the subject because this is really is starting to make me queasy. But what affiliation do you have, Ethan Nicole, to Axe Cop?
You know about Axe Cop?
I am a huge fan of Axe Cop.
I was interested. Yeah, people actually know it. So,
Are you guys familiar with Axe
No,
Cop?
I know the name.
A very funny cartoon from, I don't know, a decade ago.
So it started as a webcomic created by me and my little brother. So my brother was 5 and I was 29.
It's
wide. You were
very-
talking earlier about large families.
Yeah.
Various mothers, but yeah, large family. And he started talking about wanting to play Axe Cop, which he wanted to play cops, but he didn't have a gun. He wanted to play cops with an axe. So, and I was a comic artist looking for good ideas. I made a comic. It went viral. It became a TV show on Fox. So that was, Yeah, those are my early days.
It's just like odd and funny, and it has quite a cult following.
It's psychotic in the way that a 5-year-old is, and I don't, because I'm not his dad, so I'm not like censoring him at all. So he throws babies at things. He eats babies. He's got a friend that kills people with socks, golden chainsaws.
I remember at the time I was dating someone, and he's like, "Oh, you got to see this." I'm like, "What in the hell are we watching?" And then you just get very, very much sucked into it.
Did you start as an illustrator?
Yeah, I still do comics. I do books and animation. If you've seen any of the Babylon Bees animation, that's all. I'm behind all that.
Is it? God, I'm trying to think because I do a little bit of animation, and at some point. In the early days, it was all going to South Korea, maybe, or it was all Korea.
North Korea.
Yeah, not North Korea, probably.
No, South Korea. Right.
Wouldn't come back.
South Korea. I always think of North as good because I got used to us.
The North and South.
I have to do a weird math when I go over there, but it's all going to Korea, and then recently became some random place like Spain or something where they went. And everyone did it. Now, I don't know if everything's done on a computer now and we don't farm it out.
There's still there's a good amount of farming out. So I know lots done in Canada now.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I thought the whole thing with The Simpsons was that it was sent to China.
Oh, it was probably China.
China and Korea both do quite a bit. I don't know the business super well. Axe Cop was made all here.
Maybe. We're always like, why is China so angry at us? Well, because we give them all our shit.
Yeah. It's all the not fun part to do, like the animation.
My stepdad doesn't like me because I got like a 7,000-piece Lego set like my kid got when he was 3. And I was like, John, do this. Put the whole castle together.
Let us know when you're done.
He got it. And when he's done, it's like, all right, tap out. All right, anyway, son, look at what your dad did. Like, maybe the fact that we give them all our tennis shoes and phones and animation.
There's no glory.
You guys... You don't make stuff. Oh, you make the shit we tell you to make. So go get busy on it, and we'll put the nets up so you don't jump off the building. And maybe after 40 years of that, they go, you know what? Fuck those people.
You have a good point.
Maybe there's something there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And with the nets, they can still jump off the building.
They just won't die. They'll just jump back in.
Catches them.
They make the net though, right?
Yeah.
I know that's a real thing, but
at the iPhone factory, I thought.
Is it? But is it like the razor blades and the apples for Halloween, or is it something this insidious really exists?
Looking up stats.
I just want to see a picture or video, God willing.
Okay.
And then, do they fish them off the nets? What prevents them from jumping off the net
That's
once
a really
they land
point.
on the net?
I like that I'm next to the laptop that's Googling this.
Who's in charge of that?
I'm looking at nets.
There are nets.
And it says Apple Incorporated, China.
So if jumping, please aim for net.
Right.
But do you think they go, oh, you're talking about the pigeon deflectors? Like they must have a name. Like they can't go people net, right? They have to give it a
Suicide
name.
net would be
some sort of euphemistic something that it does something else.
Employer attention devices?
Well, it is one way to handle the problem. I mean, don't look at the mental health and don't look at the stress that you're getting. Just put the nets down.
Adam, if you want to send a real fucking message around this place, put up some nets.
A net?
Just put some nets.
Yeah.
Even if no one's tried yet, just to send a message.
There's not even a second story, but symbolically, it's that bad. Yeah. So you start off as an illustrator.
Comics, yeah.
And is this something? I feel like this is something you can do or you can't do. I mean, every kid kind of wants to draw. Right. I remember wanting to draw. I just wasn't capable of doing it. But you had that ability at a young age.
Yeah, I'm fascinated by that question because, I mean, growing up, I knew tons of amazing artists. You know, in high school, there's all these great artists, and then they kind of all. I don't know what it is where you take it to that level where you can do it professionally.
Right.
But also, like, what is talent? But I had the desire to do it constantly. I mean, I wanted to. I drew and drew and drew and drew.
I would imagine if you have that ability to draw,
right,
and you want to do professionally, your creative options for yourself are limited. I.e., axe cop, you got
Right.
lucky,
I got very lucky.
You know what I'm saying? It broke through. But for 99% of other people, they got to go to work for an ad agency. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like make mock-ups of logos and shit. You know what I mean? You that thing, that gift that you have becomes this sort of tool for corporate America.
Well, I took
Not
kind
to
of
get
the
too
crazy
deep.
path where I was doing working for myself. I didn't go to art school, didn't go to college. And I was making money however I could through illustration. Then on the side, I was doing any insane project I wanted to do. And Axe Cop just happened to be one I just threw out there. And I never expected to be. I learned very quickly you can't pick your successes, and that's what Axe Cop taught me. Like, oh wow, I'm now known as that guy.
That's wild.
As one of my random projects.
What year was it on Fox?
2010 or something?
Yeah, it was
It's
right
over a decade
around-
ago.
Yeah, it was about 10 years ago. It was probably around 2012, actually. It was around 2010 that the comic came out. It was a year or two later they made the show.
And is it sort of like, they talk about Matt and Trey had the Christmas video and it kind of got passed around
Right.
and people got hold of it and then somehow it made its way to Comedy Central at some point. Is that sort of
Kind of, except
the
for
origins?
the internet existed, so it was way faster.
Much easier, yeah.
So yeah, Axe Cop went it was like 2 days it was online and nothing happened, and then all of a sudden it went became Entertainment Weekly's website of the day one day, and it was like the next morning, and it just went crazy from there. I was getting emails and I was getting tweeted by all these celebrities and stuff. It was bonkers.
Oh, that's right. Nick Offerman.
Yeah, Nick
has written
Offerman
on
did the
screen.
voice.
I forgot about that. Now it's
all coming
jarring
together.
my memory. All right. Let me hit a spot here, which is for Trico. Over a century ago, Trico was the first to make wiper blades. They've been a step ahead of Mother Nature ever since. Trico engineers study your specific driving conditions to make sure you're ready for anything. Even if it rains, actual cats and dogs, although my dog, Phil, hits your car, you're going to need more than Trico. It's 110 pounds of lazy lab on you. Whatever the weather, Trico wipers maintain maximum windshield contact no matter what your driving habits. You always find the right wiper blade for your specific vehicle at Trico. Trico, the future of wiper blades. They've been doing it since 1917. I would have never guessed that, but since 1917. And to find a store near you and see all the latest offers, you go to Trico, catsanddogs.com. That is Trico, catsanddogs.com. All right, Ethan, hang with us. We'll take a quick break. We'll come back, and you can join us on the news right after this.
Let's stay in China for a little bit because they are cracking down some more. Remember, a month or two ago, they had mandates on men acting like sissies. And I quote, they have a lot more mandates now. Celebrities in China can no longer show off wealth or extravagant pleasure, quote unquote, on social media. But both celebrities and fan club accounts must, quote, follow public order and good customs, adhere to correct public opinion orientation and value orientation, promote socialist core values, and maintain a healthy style and taste.
Is it better? I mean, you go, well, why be a celebrity in China? But on the other hand, you could probably get people killed and never see a day in prison,
Oh, sure.
like if you knew the right people,
Yes.
right?
Yeah, I think so.
So maybe that's the ultimate. Maybe that's better than having your
The
own.
ultimate perk.
Well, it's better than having your own tequila
Than
line.
being on Cribs.
You can't post about it on Instagram, though.
True.
That's right.
Who's going to know?
So Business Insider reports that the announcement follows the Chinese Communist Party's crackdown on the country's growing entertainment industry as officials push back against celebrity scandals and online fan groups. They call that social disorder. Tuesday's notice also prohibits celebrities from spreading rumors, publishing false or private information, provoking fan groups to verbally attack each other, and encouraging fans to partake in illegal fundraising or irrational investment.
I don't know if we have a celebrity czar over here, but I'd like to throw my hat in the ring.
Well, you're pretty busy with the traffic zone
Right.
thing. Your hands full.
Well, he's handled that. That
I
problem's
farmed a
done.
lot of that out.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
We don't have traffic anymore.
But I would like to be in charge of celebrity behavior.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, hey, I'm in Malibu now.
Yeah.
I try to get a seat at Nobu. It's like I wait 9 months. Because the fucking Kardashians have locked the place down.
Right.
Fuck that shit.
So let's rotate it a little. Share some of the wealth. You know what I mean?
So I'm sorry, you want to be a czar for all celebrities or just you?
Well, I'm the czar for celebrities in general, not for myself.
But ultimately, it will help you benefit
to-
you getting a tail at Nobu.
Yeah.
I see. Okay, yeah. That's a good idea.
Pocket bet.
I like it.
Did they find that Chinese tennis star who went missing?
Where are we with that? That's a good question.
Did you hear about this story? It's a Chinese female, Chinese tennis, I'm going to say star, but I don't know. She was on the circuit.
Pro, yeah.
Claimed she was sexually assaulted by some upper level cabinet, whoever, and then went missing.
And then suddenly disappeared.
And then, but don't worry, a prepared statement came out, and the statement seems pretty cooked.
Yeah.
And then, but to their credit, the Women's Professional Tennis Association is not going LeBron James with this one. They're like, hey, what's going on? We need to find her. We don't care if we're going to upset you a little bit.
Good for them.
Yeah, good for them. They stood up. I don't know. And they're looking for her now. I don't know if she's surfaced. I don't know how it's gone, but maybe Chris can look around for that.
Yeah, her name's Peng Shui. And she appeared in public a week ago, but people are still worried about it. Like maybe even that was kind of cooked. So, I'm reading more about it, but
yeah, they're still waiting for proof that she's safe. It says. Not great.
So random. Sorry, it just made me think of stories in the news. How does the Babylon Bee handle an Alec Baldwin situation?
I can't remember how he handled that.
Well, I mean, is it just jokes are jokes and funny is funny, or is it like someone died here? And what's the internal discussion?
Well, we have had that. That was one of our earliest big controversies that got us in the news. Was we made a joke about Jan Crouch on the day she died, which was
who is that? I'm sorry.
She was a televangelist. So prosperity gospel. She had the giant pink hair and the caked on eye makeup.
Sure.
Oh, her.
She looks like a Jim Henson Muppet.
Yeah.
Some other Dark Crystal.
Sure.
She's didn't die today, so I can make jokes now. But we just made the joke. I think it was something to the effect of prosperity preachers baffled by the death of Jan Crouch always preach that prosperity.
Right.
How do they die? So it was just kind of the obvious joke in the room, and that one went big. So I think that we've been a little bit more careful at joking about people on the day that they die, but. It's case by case, especially, we make jokes because most of us are pro-life at the Babylon Bee. So we're making jokes in the other direction, but it's about a topic that's very serious to us. So that's one where sometimes a joke can seem like you're really being way too lax about it for our audience. So that's a minefield for sure.
Huh. And it is. I mean, I don't know. Obviously, time is a big thing. The other is, did the person die of natural causes, or were they shot? It was a horrible accident, or whatever that is.
Brian Laundrie situation.
Yeah. By the way, I think I get credit for that guy because I said he's committed suicide. He's not hiding in a swamp.
If that's what you said, then you were right.
Well, because they're day 17. I'm like, he's not hiding in a swamp.
Yeah,
he
not
killed
Rambo,
himself, and we can't find his body.
Right.
Nobody's living in a swamp.
Yeah.
Although when I was young, we always talk about quicksand, and we talk about a lot of these tropes. Hiding in a marsh or swamp and breathing through a reed was the number one way I thought I was going to get to safety, provided I could avoid the quicksand on the way out of the swamp. Like it was a bust this off and just slide down and breathe through this reed. That's all they did when I was a kid. That's how you breathe. Through a swamp reed.
So we are nowhere near done with this flash mob looting shit. And it has come down from the Bay and it is here to stay, it looks like.
Flash mobs have gone a long way.
That's right. It's not just happy dancing.
It's always great when they put the flash mob map up, and California has 11 offerings. You know what I mean? Nothing in the red. Oh, Chicago's got one.
Yeah.
But I mean, hey,
loser.
We're number one.
Yeah.
Well,
by a long shot.
News always said it. We lead the nation. You know what I mean? So goes the rest of the nation.
Well, LA was put on citywide tactical alert over the weekend following these smash and grab robberies at these high-end stores. And again, like flash mob style, like very like planned, very well thought out. The LAPD defines a tactical alert as enabling all officers to respond to a criminal incident. Like like if you're in a car, the lights are on with no sound, just really making their presence known everywhere. A Home Depot in Lakewood was hit. Lakewood, not far from here.
I had so many thoughts about this.
Well, let me just give an idea for the rest of people who don't live here in this hellscape that we live in. Mm-hmm. So the Home Depot was hit, which was smart because that's where they had to get their crowbars and shit, and then they take off to Bodega Veneta and all these high-end stores. Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's basically we're gonna swing by the liquor store and grab some condoms and lube before we go to the brothel.
Smart.
But I was like the guy. First, I was like, I got a lot of home improvement in my background, So I was like, swung by the Home Depot. Okay, all right.
Listening.
Stealing these Louis Vuitton bags. This is folly. But doing the Home Depot, and I remember people they looted the Home Depot, and I was like, what can you get from a Home Depot? And I thought everything that's a big ticket item weighs a lot.
Right, or it's behind a chain.
You could
something.
they're getting through those.
Oh, yeah.
But I mean, you could get a swamp cooler or something.
Yeah.
But I mean, good luck getting it through the parking lot. Although, I wonder if you grabbed a couple of day laborers. You know what I mean?
They got value.
I don't think they sell them, but yeah. I think you're right.
Look, don't worry about the job. Are you in or are you out? $23 an hour. We're gonna be in there for 14 minutes. Yeah. It's cash on the barrelhead.
Easiest $20 you ever made.
You go to the day labor corral.
Yeah.
You go there about 2:45. You're going to get the sloppy seconds.
Right.
You're going to get the fat guys with the bad knee who didn't jump in the back of the pickup truck at 7:30. But those guys will do about anything for $50.
The sloppy segundos.
Yeah, and we're going to keep it local.
Right.
We're going to go inside.
Yeah.
You help me loot.
You have to leave the premises.
Have you back in the corral. $40 richer. As soon as we load up my truck. I'm spitballing
Yeah,
here.
spitballing. No reason to judge. Judgment-free zone.
But I was like, they looted a Home Depot. And then I thought, what do they want with the tools? Like, what do they got? I was thinking of high-dollar items you could loot. And then
it's for the second location.
Then it was like, they did a bunch of single jerks and mini sledges and crow's bar and cat's paws. And I was like, oh, great. They're just getting weapons for their next looting expedition.
That's exactly what happened.
Yeah.
So there was 6 smash and grab robberies that took place in the Fairfax district in LA.
Oh, really?
In Beverly Grove, Hancock Park, all kind of close together if you're not from here. This was among the latest in a series of so-called flash mob style robberies in the LA area. And this was all, of course, on Black Friday where things were going to be open a little later and things were going to be sort of happening. Exactly. So I read the headline, so I haven't confirmed it. I thought I saw on Twitter in Walnut Creek, because that's where the original ones were, that there was going to be a curfew. So because 15 guys looted a Macy's, now we all have to go home early. But I have to double check that.
Well, they always kind of said, like, when this stuff gets into the nice neighborhoods, then we're going to do something.
Now we care.
As long as gangbangers getting shot in South Central, don't ask, don't tell. But when it comes to you,
that's their problem.
It's come to us. We're not doing that much about it, but hopefully.
Well, that's what I don't understand, and this might be dumb like these real octopus, which still freaks me out. But that's the thing. Like, why doesn't the LAPD care more?
Ignorant question. How long has this been going on for? In LA, for example.
I think it just started in LA. It originally started, last week in the Bay, and now they're doing it here.
I could see them ramping up pretty quickly, especially in the nice neighborhoods, like you said.
Well, so all right. I've always had this theory, which is, and I've always said it, which is if you have enough people wanting to involve themselves in crime, there's really nothing to do but sit back and watch. You know what I mean? Like, you could catch serial killers, but if 37% of America were serial killers, plus they'd run out of victims pretty fast. Yeah. They have to start preying on their own, like full Dexter. But the point is like, there's really nothing if everyone just does it, pure sort of jailbreak style, and this is what we've kind of learned. Like, if if there's a couple of bad apples, we can kind of enforce it.
Right.
If we want to go full Antifa, riot, Portland, autonomous Chaz zone or something, at a certain point, the cops just stand back and watch.
But what about getting out in front of it? What if, we saw this happen in the Bay and then Alex Villanueva or whoever gets on the horn and says, look, if we see any whiff of any of this shit here, we're going to crack some heads.
Well, the problem is you immediately start steering into some waters that they don't want to go into, which is if you see a car with 5 black teenage boys and it's driving into downtown, you got to pull that now. It's like you're pulling over cars just because you're driving while black. Like all the things, it's this sort of stop and frisk and broken window and all the shit we really need to do to prevent it all takes a turn for something that BLM doesn't like and many people don't like.
You're 100% right, especially when it comes to, you mentioned downtown. It's impossible to be preventative about this, especially in LA being so big. You got the jewelry district downtown. You got Fairfax. You got Santa Monica. There's so many nice areas.
Rodeo.
That you can't possibly, literally preventatively protect them all.
Well, that tactical alert, they literally just have, like I said, cops strolling real slow with the lights on, cops walking around Westfield Shopping Center, just making their presence known. But I don't know, did it help? I don't know. Maybe.
I'll be there later tonight.
Just let us know.
It's a bad societal sign.
Yeah,
is
great.
what it is. And it adds to a general anxiety because you don't feel like walking through the mall or going to the jewelry store. It's great for guys like me. Just wish we could go to the jewelry store. I've been dying to buy a tennis bracelet for, feels like a lifetime now. I value your health. No, you can't buy jewelry online. That's insane. No.
Is it worth your life?
It's not worth your life. And by the way, you don't think the mob can get you online? Oh, wake up and smell the coffee, baby.
Just because we're talking a little bit about race and stuff, it's not a news story, but I was listening to the sort of a breakdown, a highlight reel of the Ahmaud Arbery case. Mm-hmm. You know what's really interesting about that? The prosecutor, I can't remember her name. She almost never brought up race. It did not come up. And they were speculating all the reasons why she did that. And the defense was trying to have the fact that they had a Confederate flag license plate, taken and off that's taken off the table. And the judge says, no, she can talk about it if she wants. And she was like, no, thanks. And the thinking was probably, well, half the jury might have those on their car, know somebody. That's not the direction we're going to go. This is all about some dipshit looking for trouble and finding it and making stupid decisions. And I'm going to keep race out of it, essentially.
Well, then it was never brought into the George Floyd trial.
Yeah.
Ever.
It's interesting.
Not spoken of. The CNN did a very good job of infusing that trial with race.
Right.
But there was the entire George Floyd thing was never an issue or brought up or part of the trial.
God, I would love Mark Garagos's thoughts on that because you just assume, like you said, CNN, everyone, you just assume that's what they're talking about in the courtroom. They're not.
No, CNN just talks about it exclusively, but it's not going on in the courtroom, which is sad.
You think it would be, but it didn't make it. It certainly didn't make a difference. They got charged on all counts.
But I think. I'm not a prosecutor, but
I thought you were a former
prosecutor. I was a rear admiral and former prosecutor. But I will say this, and let me put on my rear admiral's hat. Oh, no, wait, wrong hat. Let me put on my prosecutor's hat. I should do one and just flip it around half and half.
Sherlock Holmes style.
But I think people are having such a knee-jerk reaction to race being infused and everything that if you think you have a good case on the merits of the case, then you don't bring up race because it's like if you're accusing your neighbor of stealing your barbecue or your hibachi or something, and you go, because he loves barbecue and he doesn't like black people. Now everyone's like, oh, is this just another thing? That
how the Portuguese are.
Yeah, we're just padding the case now. I think if you got the bones of a case, smart just to keep it to the nuts and the bolts.
I think you're right. I just thought that was really interesting. Like you said, the way it's presented to us is not what's going on in there. So Matthew McConaughey, a lot of speculation about him running for Texas, and he he has made his decision that he will.
Texas governor.
Yes, not run. He will not run.
He will not run.
He's not going to give up $50 million a picture.
He made the announcement Sunday in a video he posted on social media. He says it's a humbling and inspiring path to ponder. Also, a path I am choosing not to take at this moment. He has led in numerous polls, and it's not happening. But instead of running for governor, here's what he plans to do with his time and money.
I'm going to continue to work and invest the bounty I have by supporting entrepreneurs, businesses, and foundations that I believe are leaders, establishments that I believe are creating pathways for people to succeed in life, organizations that have a mission to serve and build trust while also generating prosperity. That's the American dream. And politicians, well, the good ones can help us get to where we need to go, yeah. But let's be clear. They can't do anything for us unless we choose to do for ourselves.
Well, there you go.
So a venture capitalist.
But wouldn't it be great? I kind of miss this about, no one misses Jimmy Carter, but everyone misses his brother.
Billy?
Yeah, Billy.
I don't remember Billy. I was very young.
Billy's a bit of a punchline back in the late 70s.
Matthew's got Rooster out there.
Well, what about Clinton's
he's like
brother?
Yeah, he's similar to Clinton's brother.
Yeah, I like a politician with a ne'er-do-well brother, alcoholic, who's going to use this to launch his own fortified wine line.
Well, Billy Bear.
Yeah, Billy Bear. Oh, yeah.
Billy
Bear.
He had a beer.
Call Billy.
I worked at a liquor store. I worked at the Flask. We had it.
That is
nice.
Amazing.
Oh, yeah. So Jimmy Carter had his brother, and his brother, you know, he's that guy. He's King Ralph.
Right.
You know what I mean? He's going to show up. He's going to want to go to the State House and all the events, but the brother doesn't want him there, and he's always drunk, and he's causing. Then he gets paid to do some sort of interview talking about how the guy was a chronic masturbator when he was in high school or something. I mean, he's got Rooster. You know what I'm saying?
Rooster's great.
But he's great now.
Yeah.
Wait till Matthew takes the governor's mansion. You know what I mean? This is good. This is sitcom.
You know, he's on the cover of Newsweek, and you know his name is Billy because he's wearing a T-shirt that says Billy, and he's holding a beer can that also says.
Wow, he looks just like Jimmy Carter. They are brothers.
Yeah.
This kind of smacks of like a Meghan Markle situation too.
Yeah, like her dad.
Yeah, and the sister.
Oh, I forgot about the sister.
Yeah, half sister, whatever.
Yeah, he's.
That's great.
I don't think he spent a lot of time in the Oval Office, but he was definitely that guy.
That's great.
I don't know. He must have. I mean, Jimmy Carter's still alive, obviously. Oh, yeah. I mean, it's crazy how old he is, but Billy must have, like, his liver exploded in 1988.
Betrayed him long ago. Something. Did you ever try the Billy Bear?
No,
couple fell off the shelf.
I was like 16. I was a little more in the Verner's high end
ginger
ale back then, and they wouldn't let me. I had the guys Sid. No, it was Marty. I think of Sid
Marty.
No, wow. Marty was one of those guys. Two super Jewish brothers who ran the place, and they would go. I'd leave every day when I was done working. They'd go, take a cold soda. It was very like Phil Rosenthal style. You know,
you look parched.
The Jewish part was putting cold in front of it because it was just a big cooler filled with. We knew I did the cold math.
Right,
I worked
but
there.
They wanted to treat you right,
and it was a little extra.
Yeah,
freebie.
Right
for me. But I'd go with the Verners. Was it Verners? Verners, yeah.
More gingery than like a Canada Dry.
Yeah, for those who want the sort of higher end version of ginger ale, not the generic. Ever try the Verners?
No, never.
It's real good.
No. It's good. It's not the Schweppes or the can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They have it feels Midwestern. I mean, we grew up with that, so I don't know.
Yeah, and maybe they do a root beer or two. I don't know what else they do.
We just stuck with the ginger ale.
But it's
has more
it's
snap.
The real deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
So,
all right.
That's right.
So remember I told you a little while ago that
occasionally grab a Martinelli. Keep going. Occasionally.
That Dave Chappelle, they were going to honor him by changing the name of the Duke Ellington School to Chappelle, and all the students revolted and said, we're going to protest if you go ahead with this. Well, he's kind of taking a page from Elon Musk and sort of putting it to a vote in a great way. He's basically said, people just put your money where your mouth is. Donate to the high school. So it's the Duke Ellington School of Arts in D.C., and they were supposed to name it after him. And now he says, if you object to my receiving the honor, I urge you to donate to the school, noting your objection.
But isn't there, I mean, it's already the Duke Ellington,
yes.
right? Like, why are we pulling off one historic brother and replacing him with another one?
Because something tells me that there was a donation involved, I would assume.
But doesn't it kind of make sense to find another building with, Ted Nugent's name on it or Bird
as they
or
have
whoever.
in the performing arts, yeah.
Yeah, to well, and how old, Billy's still alive?
No, Jimmy's alive.
Yeah,
He's 97. Billy
Jimmy's
died.
alive?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Billy.
We're asking for Billy, though.
Billy died, well, because I had the notes up on your screen. Billy died in 88, age 51 of pancreatic cancer.
Well done.
Didn't I say 88?
88.
And then, his sister and dad.
Right past
Anyway.
the date. I called his death on.
Are you still talking? I'm trying to give you.
Yeah, that date.
Trying to learn about Billy.
He died in 88. I just pulled 88 out of my ass.
Very impressive.
Figured he made it through the 70s and the 80s is what got him. Mm-hmm.
So he's basically saying, if you don't want my name on the school, then donate and make your objection noted. Mm-hmm. If you do want my name, donate and make that you're for me noted.
There you go.
And then when the ballots are in, I will either accept the honor or I won't accept the honor, depending on who there's more of. And he said, if you don't care enough to donate, please shut up forever.
That's good.
So we'll find out.
Good.
It all benefits the school. I already know what you're going to pull from this story, that Boston Market would probably not be your choice for a Thanksgiving meal, but that is not the situation in Rancho Cucamonga when...
That's where I live.
Did you order from Boston Market for Thanksgiving?
No.
Okay. Well, let me know if you drove past this sign. So customers who ordered their whole pre-ordered Thanksgiving meal from there were surprised to find the store was closed when they came to pick up their already paid for food. What happened? Well, its sudden closure was due to a labor shortage, according to the sign out front. And this is what the sign said in a little handwritten sign. No employees showed up today. We're unable to fulfill your orders. We're sorry. Along with the labor shortage, restaurants were also dealing with supply shortages brought on by the pandemic. Some shortages have led to a spike in prices, left customers unable to order their meals. I think it was Raising Cane's or one of them. They had to call in executives from corporate and be like, if you want the store open, you got to come work.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's the hot new franchise.
I've never been. I'm so jealous of your daughter.
Oh,
is it
There's
for
a
the
giant
South?
line. I think it is. I don't know.
She wanted.
Sounds like it.
She tried to talk me into driving her and her friend to Raising Cane's, but there's nothing within striking distance. Like, thank God for Waze. She's like, it's. I said, look, if it's under a half hour, we can do this. She's like, yeah, it's like 28 minutes or something like that. Like, give me the address. Pulled the phone out. It's like 57 minutes
in light traffic
each
Well,
way.
that's just getting there. There's probably a line around the block too.
Yeah, man. I mean,
is it worth it? Has anyone had it?
I don't get people that sit in those long drive-through lines.
I mean, it's just chicken tenders and big ass fries, and I think Mike August was telling me they had like a nephew that was strung out on that stuff, like from the South, like just couldn't was in his veins and stuff. And he said they put sugar on the fries or something like that, like whatever the secret heroin or fentanyl to fat people. Says, well, put some fucking sugar on it, and we'll do it that way. But you should open a franchise.
There's one by the airport.
There's one by the
That's
airport.
what I'm looking at.
Okay. Well, I know a big one in the South is Bojangles. So as long as that stays out of California, we have a fighting chance.
But also, like, Raising Cane's is like, I don't know that there is a salad or sliced apple option. Not that you would ever partake.
Chick-fil-A has it.
I'm saying it's like most people have some sort of offering for diabetics or something.
A grilled version.
All I've heard is fries and chicken tenders. And we're like, our fast food is getting fatter within the fast food. Like, that used to just be the category. Now there's super fat fast food categories now.
Oh my.
Yeah, man.
I think for show research, somebody should grab this. We can try it on the show.
Yeah.
Look at that batter.
It smells good. It's thick. It's a dipping sauce. Like
Texas toast.
We just got to dip everything into everything now. Like it's just crazy.
Their sauce is just mayonnaise and ketchup.
Oh, sure.
I think mixed together.
Yeah.
That's their big sauce.
Something tells me their healthy option is about 8 cups of sugar in their coleslaw, which is the only side they offer.
Their only healthy option is keep walking. There's a Whole Foods on the corner and a Jamba Juice across the street. Don't even come in here.
Healthiest option is the napkin.
Named after the first murderer, right?
Right. Cain and Abel.
Oh, yeah.
Well put.
Merry Christmas to us all, because Channing Tatum is not done with Magic Mike. CNN reports that he's set to star in the 3rd installment of the franchise. It's called Magic Mike's Last Dance, and it will debut exclusively on HBO Max. Steven Soderbergh back in to direct. That's according to this picture that Channing Tatum posted online of the script, and that's what it said on the front.
Gene, have you seen Magic Mike, and have you enjoyed it?
Indeed.
It's about 12 minutes of sexy dancing and 90 minutes of walking and talking.
You clearly didn't see the sequel.
I didn't,
because they really gave the people what
really?
they wanted.
They
and hard and fast and abundant.
Okay, I can't speak to the sequel.
The plot is they're in a Winnebago trying to get to a stripper convention.
I know
it's
you're talking.
phenomenal. Okay. It is art. And, I don't give a shit about 50 Shades of Grey and all that nonsense. You just want to get this guy swinging around in his sweatpants and everybody's happy. So this is going to be the 3rd and last installment, apparently. By the way, the film grossed nearly $300 million worldwide, so nothing to sneeze at. And there's a spin-off experience, Magic Mike Live in Las Vegas.
Well, look,
Stop telling Adam things he already knows.
I like Coyote Ugly, so that's basically the male version of Magic Mike.
Yeah.
So I cannot pass judgment.
It's great.
on your love of Magic Mike.
And remember, the original Matthew McConaughey, Channing Tatum, the hot guy.
Was it Manganiello in that one?
Mm-hmm.
Joe Manganiello.
I failed.
That cute guy who played the kid or whatever.
Couldn't tell you, Gina.
Yes, you could.
No, I really couldn't.
Tons of hot, just fucking meat.
Yeah, I get it.
And Steven Soderbergh.
I mean, it's good for all the guys who didn't quite make the cut on Thunder from Down Under because they couldn't fake the Aussie accent.
That's right.
You can just go to the Magic Mike review,
Yeah.
and you can just you're from Baltimore. Just go ahead and use that. You don't have to do the fake Aussie thing anymore.
No, that's over.
All right, let's bring it home.
You got it. I'm Gina Grad, and that's the news.
Hey, I murdered somebody, but I'm not a rapist.
That was the news with Gina Grad.
Well, last but not least, there's Klaviyo. Holidays are here, and unconventional gifts are the best ones, like owning your data and growth with Klaviyo, which leads to customer and brand loyalty. Whether you're an entrepreneur or growing a startup or a longtime visionary evolving your company, Klaviyo is the email and SMS marketing platform that helps you own your growth. Klaviyo boosts your marketing by giving you the tools you need to own and access data you've sourced from your customers. Using their customer-first data is like homemade versus store-bought cookies. You always want the homemade stuff. You can tell the difference. When you own your data, you own your growth. Learn more at Klaviyo. That's CLAVIO.com/holidays. All right, let's see. The book, The Babylon Bee Guide to Wokeness, is available as we speak in finer bookstores and online as well. Ian Bagg, you can check him out. Sword and Scale Rewind. And you can go to Carolla.com. I'm doing a few more shows coming up in Brea, December 15th. TJ Miller, Patton Warburton. That one's almost sold out. So you want to get to the TJ Miller one as fast as you can. You can check me out on the Daily Wire, and you can check out my 2 specials with Leno and Riggle. Truth Yeller. That's on the Daily Wire. And until next time, this is Adam Carolla for Ethan Nicole and Ian Bagg and Gina Grad and Bold Ryan saying mahalo. She's got the nub, takes the leg off.
And upper bowl, always the upper bowl. There's no way that happens in the lower bowl.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're up against the wall.
And kind of a looker.
Yeah. Maybe it's Paul McCartney's act. Things have been rough. Couldn't get something down on the floor.
They're going to get better seats.